everyone, my name is Defiva Zukhruful Atqiya and I'm a first semester student at Poltekkes Kemenkes Tasikmalaya majoring in pharmacy. And my student ID number is P20630125054. I was born in Sumedang on 7th August 2006, but now I live in Tasikmalaya. I'm making this video as part of my English course reflections, not just to fulfill an assignment, but also to share my journey and how this class has shaped my learning experience. A little story about me. My interest in English started back in junior high school. At the time, my school had a 2 weeks English program from Kampung Inggris Pare. It was one of the most memorable experiences. We practiced English every day, and by the end of the program, surprisingly, I was chosen as the best student in my class. Then when I realized that learning English could actually be fun and meaningful. During high school, things got a bit more normal, just learning in the classroom, but I tried to keep the habit. In my free time, I like to watch English movies or listening and singing to English songs. Those hobbies helped me improve my listening and pronunciation naturally. And now, here I am, starting a first semester in college, ready to explore how English connects with my field pharmacy. So, let me take you on a little reflection journey about what I've learned in this English course. When I think back to my speech performance this semester, my first impression was that I did okay. Not bad, but not great either. I was nervous, especially during my first few tries. Sometimes my voice trembled a little, and my mind went blank for a second. But that's just a part of the process, right? The most challenging part for me was definitely the dialogue practice. Sometimes the conversations were long, and there were new or unfamiliar medical words that I had never heard before. I was afraid of mispronouncing them or forgetting the lines. And yes, I got nervous in front of my classmates. But thankfully, our lecturer always corrected us kindly, which made me feel more confident every time. From that experience, the most valuable lesson I learned is that confidence doesn't appear overnight. It comes from trying again and again, even when you feel unsure. Every time I volunteered to read or do a dialogue, I felt like I was taking one small step forward. The moment I felt most proud was when I realized I was no longer afraid to speak. I started enjoying the process, pronouncing each word, acting out dialogues, and sometimes even laughing at my own mistakes. It wasn't about being perfect, it was about getting better little by little. Among all the units we studied, the one that really stood out for me was Chapter 4, the endocrine and lymphatic system. I found it fascinating because the endocrine system controls so many vital processes in our body, like hormones, metabolism, growth, and more. But it became even more meaningful when I related to my own family. One of my family members actually suffers from diabetes, which is one of the most common endocrine disorders. The connection made me realize how important it is for pharmacy students to understand not only the science, but also how to communicate effectively, especially in English. Being able to explain medication instruction clearly to patients can make a real difference. From this chapter, I learned how the endocrine system interacts with other systems and how pharmacists help manage hormonal disorders. It also showed me that English in healthcare is about helping people understand their health. In the future, I hope to use this knowledge to improve my medical English vocabulary and strengthen my communication skills as a pharmacist. This semester, we had 14 meetings, some offline and some online. Each session covered one of the 13 units. Classes usually began with background pre-assessment activities for several sessions. We learned vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, and pharmacist-patient dialogue. I especially like the dialogue practice. I often volunteer to improve my speaking and confidence. At first, I was nervous, but with practice, it feels more natural. This semester taught me a lot, not only about English for pharmacy, but also how to communicate better in all four skills. I still need to improve grammar and vocabulary, but I'm proud of my progress. In the future, I want to learn more about medical English and how to communicate effectively with patients. Based on my effort and progress, I think I deserve a B+ for now. I've tried my best and I'm proud of how far I've come. Thank you so much for listening my story. I hope my reflections can inspire others to keep learning, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep believing in their own progress. Bye, see ya!